Hello, welcome to Michelle Hope Walker Speaks. I am Michelle Hope Walker. Oh, yeah, okay, so here's the key point. Taraji P. Henson. I love her. She's so awesome. I am so happy to see her. She's played a lot of good roles, but I'm just so happy to see, her get her time. You know what I'm saying? She's had her time, don't get me wrong, because she's playing a lot of good movies. But it's all about her. And I'm so happy about that. And we have to pray for her because we know, there's a lot of people like me that's happy for people as good things happen to them. And then there are people that are not so happy when good things happen to people. I don't see how these people can be like this because I always feel like as you celebrate the blessings of others, blessings come back to you, and what we've seen, come to pass in her life where she gets this way apart and everybody's talking about Taraji, you know what I'm saying? I think it's just so awesome for her. So now she talked about her son being harassed in a sense by the police. Now, today, and let me tell you, I always like to date these, so, some people were on my face. Well, you said, okay, but what date did I say that on? Because I may not feel that way now. But anyway, so today is Saturday, and it is March 28th, 2015. Okay, so on yesterday, March 27, 2015, there was a lot of news coverage saying that Taraji P. Henderson apologizes. Actually, they kept saying actress apologizes for accusations to the Glendale Police Department. Okay, I'm a parent. I got grown kids, so I can relate and I can understand. You know what I'm saying? So, they're saying when she's seen the video, maybe it wasn't as she thought it was. I hadn't got a chance to read the article where they're saying in the article she accused her son. I did see some of the news coverage when they talked about, especially in relation to USC, which to me, that wasn't a surprise because we've seen all kind of stuff happen with minority students at USC where when they have parties, they can't have parties, or when they do have parties, they act like something's going to go wrong. And it just seemed like the other races or different things can have, peace-free parties. Matter of fact, I think it was a Caucasian group that stood up for the African-American group in relation to a USC party because they were like, well, why can we party, but they can't have a party? You know what I'm saying? Or why is police over there, but not over here at our party, and so, because they were like, we're doing the same similar activities, So we don't want to act like racism doesn't exist. So that's the first thing, and I know right now they're trying to do good media about police departments. I know nationwide they got police rapping, they got them dancing to Taylor Swift. They got them doing everything. And it's cool. I understand, I understand putting a spin on stuff. Don't get me wrong. And like I said, we need a police department. We really do need a police department. I am woo-hoo for the police department. Like I said, my brother's an officer. I even looked at times earlier in my life on looking at being a police officer myself to help serve, the public. My thing, I see police officers in the serving, that you are serving the public. Providing good customer service and keeping people safe, but I am not the court. If I'm a police officer, I am not the court when I arrest them or stop them. I'm just supposed to do what I need to do to help make sure they don't hurt, other people or themselves. But it's not up to me to just assume that they're guilty, type thing. So I guess I just want to say that, okay, Taraji, I understand you apologize, and that's fine. Because first I was like, why she apologizing? She don't have to apologize. But then when I seen what talked about, I had seen that. But then again, I'm still sort of like, okay, because the media is just blowing up. I'm like, okay, but let's not act like our minority kids do not get racially profiled. Okay, because that's the thing when, because, when people get too caught up on, well, see, they just automatically assume, and it wasn't even that way. Then that's when people, to me, try to downplay the fact that there are still high numbers that minorities, especially African American males, get racially profiled, get harassed by police. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying all police are wrong. I keep telling y'all we need police, but I do love the conversation when we talk about and admit that there are some officers that do racial profiling. And then we also got to talk about the training, because sometimes I just think it's the way they're trained. It's like a class. If you take a class and the test says this is going to be on the test material, so you're going to study that and you're going to do what you need to do to pass the test. So I think we really got to look at the police training. That again, they're not being trained that minorities and blacks and low-income folks are the criminals. You know what I'm saying? Why they looking at the minorities, especially African Americans and low income? Then you got other races just going by committing all kind of crimes, but nobody's really looking at them. Because they just don't assume that they are the ones that would commit crimes, So we got to get that mindset out, of the head. So that's my only challenge, with that. And I always notice, whenever the police do something, because I know, especially at least out here in Los Angeles news, say, and I kudos to the different news and media forms that they have started reporting misconducts of police officers. I'm like, kudos for that, because let's not act like these people are perfect. Let's not act like, let's give LAPD, for example, 10,000 police officers, that everybody's perfect and never does anything wrong. Come on now, I understand they be trying to cover for each other, but it's like, but people aren't dumb. We know, that not every police officer is perfect, and we know nobody is perfect, but I'm just saying, then let's not play the cover-up game. So I know I see a lot that, so again, I hear at least Los Angeles, California news, they've been showing some of the misconduct where an officer just actually killed a person. They fired him. They showed where officer tried to smuggle in a person across the border. And so they have been, so thank you, because that lets us, know, okay, quit acting like that everything the officers do is just perfect and people just making up stuff. Okay, let's not act like that. So, and again, keep the good PR of having your police officers rapping and singing and dancing, jump roping with kids. We love it, because they do need to be a part of the community. I do believe in community policing, that in hopes the more they hang around the community and get to know the community, they just won't ride up on somebody that's minority, low income, and just feel like, oh, you must be doing something wrong. You're low income. You're a minority. What are you doing? Because I've had a lot of good communications with a lot of officers. And a lot of times, the different events I have, this officer's presence is helping us to keep things safe. And I think that's a blessing. I thank God for them. But at the same time, as I see all these good deeds of officers, I do sometimes, I will see where officers will rough up someone or just, harshly, and aggressively. And I'm just like, I just sort of look like, because I'm looking like that. It didn't really render that, the person hadn't even opened up their mouth before the officer just aggressively, but again, not all officers are like that. And so I'll say, Glendale, kudos to you, from what the video showed, your officers were being somewhat, kind and working with the young man, Taraji's son. But again, she didn't know that. She hadn't seen the video, and that's understandable that Taraji would, apologize, because maybe she's feeling like, well, okay, this is a lot different from what I thought it was. But again, let's not act like, that's what I keep thinking, let's not act like that the police do not racially profile minorities or the low income. Let's just, because sometimes when we get too much out there, oh, well, see, it wasn't the way you thought it was, then, because already, again, so I'm a marcher. Yes, I am. In the name of Jesus, I am. I'm a marcher. I get out there and I march when there's misconduct of police officers hurting people and killing people. Yes, I'm a, and I just don't want to take away from us not continuing to be watchful and screening and looking at the situations where police officers were not as kind. So this is the key thing I wanted to get out. Taraji girl, I love you. You awesome, and I know how it is raising kids. So it's cool. And when you seem like somebody's trying to do something to our babies, we like, because I got sons, and I have to say, I have to give my sons some time to speed up. Sometimes, all the time, especially if they're going out after dark. Just walking even to the store down the street. I have to tell them, if the police approaches you, this is what you do, this and that. Because it's a clear and a 50% chance that as he just is going down to the store that officer may racially profile him, and it's sad that we have to teach our kids that. And I don't teach my kids that all officers are bad, because no, they're not. But we do have to prepare them, especially with all these deaths of these young minorities dying. We have to prepare our kids, of what to do. Keep your hands out and up, and just different things that, and I encourage communities to continue to do training with youth and with all people on what to do if an officer stops you, because it's, and I think sometimes when people are running or driving up, I don't always think maybe they didn't even really commit that much of a crime or whatever it is. Maybe they didn't commit no crime, but they're so scared of the police because we've seen where even when people don't commit a crime, they still die, or something happens, even if they commit a crime, I don't think it was warranted to death, that they were supposed to die because of it. But we have a justice system. When you go to court, you have a jury, and if you're not guilty, then you may get some time or whatever, or probation or something of the sort. And it's supposed to follow through like that process, not a lot of people dying in the hands of being arrested or trying to be arrested. So I just want to put that out there, you all, because, don't get too carried away with, they were just, but again, a shout out to Glendale Police Department. Yes, Glendale, I do have to shout you out, because it looked like, the officer was, being courteous in the sense, of trying to work with them, I guess you're saying a crosswalk or something that was going on, But again, we always have to look at, because I'm still always sometimes, why did they stop the car, period, anyway? Was it just a crosswalk, or did the car look a certain type of way, or did you see who was driving the car? Because I'm always still in the mindset of what made you stop that particular car. Because how many people didn't, do that crosswalk thing and you didn't stop? But I don't, But, me, the key thing is about fairness. I just believe in justice and fairness. And that's why I'm running for United States President. Yes, vote for me, Michelle Hope Walker, for United States President 2016. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel, Michelle Hope Walker Speaks, and see all my little different videos. I also do videos about Road to the White House, the ups and downs and challenges and advantages of running for president, and just talk about a lot of different things, but we most definitely need to have a person like me who cares about all people, regardless of race, regardless of rich, poor, whatever. I care about everybody. You know what I'm saying? And I do believe in justice, and I do believe in fairness. And so I believe I can run this country. I know I can. I know I can. I'm going to tell you all this, getting this justice system, what we're supposed to be getting justice worked out. That would be like one of my top priorities, straightening out this justice, or what we call justice system. We need to have more fairness in the justice system for all, not just for those that have money, not just for other races, but for all races, and all people, the poor and everybody, should receive fair justice. Because none of us are perfect. So I mean, but the thing is if you're doing something wrong and you get in trouble for it, and you get arrested, it should be the process of, the police are to treat you with respect, and you get, if it's a render of getting arrested, then you go to jail, then you have an attorney, and you have court. We got to pray for the court systems too, because, oh my goodness, as I've been attending some of the court hearings, I'm just like, oh my gosh, sometimes you see the unfairness and the injustice. I'm like, really? Like the Suge Knight, $25 million? Why did you just say you just didn't want to get him bail? I mean, because $25 million? With just with stuff of accusations, please don't even start talking about that one, because I'm not gonna talk all day about that one. But anyway, so shout out to Taraji P. Henson, and her son. Because I know when her son got out, he was very polite. So I also want to speak on that, Taraji. You raised your son right where he was polite. He knew how to, handle stuff and different things like that. So, so again, just shout out, continue to remember to stand for justice. And again, shout out to Glendale Police Department. That is a plus for Glendale because I've heard some other things when it comes to race about Glendale. So that's a plus for the Glendale Police Department. And I'm your girl, Michelle Hope Walker. So keep hope alive. You can call me 323-338-6580. Follow me on Twitter, Hope_speaks, and keep doing what God called and told you to do. Be blessed.